When you begin to follow the line of thought or the teachings of anybody, it becomes increasingly difficult to have independence of thought around that person. It becomes increasingly difficult to have your own line of thought around that person, so that you find yourself agreeing with what they say even before the point is fully made, or before you have a chance to fully understand what they are saying. Sometimes you no longer have time to process your own thoughts on a particular matter. You just take their thinking as the default or as truth, simply because they have made sense a lot of times. And it's a trap. It's a bad thing because it robs you of independence of thought, like I already implied, and you might find yourself agreeing with something you wouldn't otherwise agree with, simply because somebody you already have confidence in their thinking lines or their thought patterns agrees with it. It's harmless and it begins quietly, but it's a big concern. That's how people become people pleasers. That's how people become hero worshippers. That's how people begin to worship their pastors. That's how people become lazy to look into scriptures for themselves, simply because somebody who has preached truth. When you first got to know your pastor, you were skeptical, you were testing spirits, you were trying to find out the stuff he was made of. But after a while, what if his focus has shifted? What if that person you look up to, whether he's a social figure or a spiritual figure or an academic figure, what if they have begun to derail? The point of this video is that we should never lose our independency of thought. Never lose your ability to question things, whether it's in spiritual settings like the church, or social circles like politics, or academic circles like the university. Anywhere, never lose your ability to question things for yourself. It's one of the greatest gifts that the human being has, the independency of thought. Grace to you.